Let's draw a snowman using colored pencils. So I do have a mix here of some watercolor pencils mixed in, just because I could not find these colors in my regular pencils. Somehow they went missing. So you can use watercolor pencils the same way you use regular color pencils, just don't add any water to them. So we're going to get started just by figuring out the shape of the snow person that we want to make. And this is just going to be to do a single person on a small piece of paper, but it would be really fun and really cool to make multiple snow people, maybe on a bigger piece of paper, doing something. You know, maybe they're sledding or dancing or just having a really good time interacting with each other. But I'm just going to show you how to draw just one, and then you can use your own imagination to draw as many as you would like. So the first thing I want to do is figure out how big my snow person is going to be, and I'm just going to make a little line at the bottom. That's where the base of the snow person will be. And then I'm going to decide how tall, and if I want it to have a hat, I want to leave room for the hat, so I'm going to say probably right about there for the top. Okay, and I know that the top is smaller, so a little line there will show me how big maybe the head's going to be, and then that will be a little bit bigger, and then the bottom is the biggest part. So now I'm going to try to fit my circles inside these areas here. So, and it can be really just loosely done, because remember, this is like made out of snow. If you were to build a snow person, you know, it might be kind of lumpy, and that's totally fine. So don't worry about if it's not a perfect circle. You can keep it really loose and sketchy. So there's the basic shape of our snow person. And now what we're going to do is, as we color this in, we want to follow the round shape. We want to make sure this looks round. If we were to just color up and down or side to side, it's going to look flat. We want to try to make this snow person look more 3D, more three-dimensional. So as we're coloring this in, we're going to follow the curve of each of these basically snowballs. So we're going to follow this and curve as we're coloring it in. And you can also use the edge. Sometimes that works even better for filling in an area than using the point like I'm doing here. So this is the edge, and then this is if you were coloring with the point. So you can see the difference between the kind of coverage you can get. And I am putting a good amount of pressure down to really cover up the blue of the paper. So that's a good start for now. And we want to begin to think about light and shadow. So the blue of the paper is helping us with the shadow because it does show through a little bit, but we want to kind of enhance that even more, make that even more shadow. So I'm going to take a lighter blue, this is a sky blue, and again, it's a watercolor pencil because I couldn't find my regular colored pencil in this color, but it is fine either way. And now I'm going to decide the light can be coming from one direction. So in this case, my light's coming in this way, which means my shadow is going to be on this side. And now I'm going to work again using the tip instead of the point and just add sort of a blue and a little bit lighter when it's not on the edge, but still, you know, kind of curving around. And then I can go back in with the white and go even more on the side where there's the light, because I want it to be really, really colored in there so that you can see that that is the lightest side. Okay, now let's keep building our snow person. So what does our snow person need? So obviously our snow person is going to need eyes, a nose, and probably a mouth, right? So let's go ahead and add some of those. I've got a black colored pencil here, and I'm just going to go in and add sort of like an uneven, bumpy circle, because the eyes are usually in most stories made out of coal, and coal is not usually a perfect circle, so it's a little bit bumpy. And then we'll give this snow person a carrot nose. And we want to give a shadow on the bottom, so I've got sort of a orange red, red orange to give this more of a shadow. And some small dots for the mouth. It's hiding somewhat under the nose, so we can't see all of it. Okay, and let's say that this snow person is wearing a scarf. I am using more darker colors so that it shows up better on this. So if you like things like yellow and pink, they might not show up really good on the blue paper. So that's why I'm using darker colors for everything. But I'm going to give this snow person a striped scarf. Now that I've got the scarf on, I'm going to add some more details. I'm going to add some arms. So I wanted to put the scarf on first in case it covered part of the arms, because I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted to put them. So they're going to be coming out kind of from here. And then my other one's going to go over here. Kind of, you know, this is a branch of a tree, really, so it's very zigzagged, very crooked. Just like that. Okay. And I could decide if I'm going to put some mittens or gloves, so I could do that. I can add a mitten. They don't match, which is kind of fun, like they were just found in the lost and found or something. And let's see, I'm going to give this snow person a top hat. So we're going to go very classic here. We're going to go with the top hat. So I'm going to add my hat here, just kind of a curve that goes around. And then I'm going to give it a make it like a holiday snow person. So a little bit of holly there. And you can add whatever details you want for your snow person, of course. Of course, because yours is yours. And a little band of ribbon. Okay. Now before I totally color in the hat, I want to give it a little bit of a shiny spot. So this is a shiny hat. So I'm going to color that first with white. Okay, and I can even do a little bit of white on the little holly. Just to make it really kind of pop out. Okay, and now I think I'll give my snow person some buttons. So I'm actually going to do like a really big button here with little buttonholes. And I'm just going to draw it first with black, and then I'm going to color it in green. So there's my button, And then the other button, the other buttons I think on this one are actually going to be hiding behind the scarf, so I can only see that one button probably. I may be able to put, yeah, another one like peeking here. And that one I guess I could make this color. But they're hiding behind the scarf, so I can't really see them. And then we need to add some snow, because now our snow person is just sort of floating on the paper here. So I'm going to go back to my white and just add sort of some snow. Okay, and we're going to get a little fancy because we want to remember that there is a shadow. There is light hitting here and there is a shadow. So where there's a shadow, I am using this darker, I think it's a violet color, or you could use a darker blue. And I'm just going to add right here on the ground this darker color, because my snowman here is casting a shadow. Okay, and you can use this also to add some shadow to the bottom of the branch, to the side of the mittens. Okay, and you can go in, we can take our white and we could even put a little bit of snow sort of on top of these. All right, now if you wanted to get really, really fancy here, you could take some white paint and kind of splatter little white paint dots on here, and it would look really nice. It would look like snow all over your snow person. Or you could just use a pencil and make little dots if you wanted to give like a little snow falling kind of reflection going on there. Okay, so I'm moving my pencils out of the way because I don't want to get paint on them. And then I'm actually going to put a piece of scrap paper over part of my snow person because I don't want to get snow splatter, paint splatter on onto the snow person's body. And I've got a toothbrush, so this is a toothbrush, and I've got a plastic knife because I don't want to get this all over my fingers. But if you're not worried about your fingers, you could do this with your finger like underneath. So here we go, we're going to just splatter. So now I can move my paper that protected most of my snow person, and I should just have some paint splatter kind of around the edges to give it a little bit of a more snowy, snow falling look.